You've been told something since childhood, and it's been quietly limiting your power, that you have to believe in something before it can come true. Just believe in yourself. Believe and you will receive. But what if that very instruction is backwards? What if belief was not the starting point, but the byproduct? What if belief is what shows up after the reality shifts, not before? Stay with me, because what you're about to understand might unhook years of effort, guilt, and mental struggle you've been carrying. Most people trying to manifest are doing it from a broken foundation. They try to believe. They try to feel good. They try to fix their blocks. They're working on themselves endlessly or to get somewhere. But here's what you'll rarely hear in popular manifestation content. The subconscious doesn't respond to your feelings. It doesn't respond to hope. And it certainly doesn't care whether you believe. The subconscious responds to command, to inner authority, to identity. Neville Goddard knew this. He didn't say, feel it and you'll get it. He said, assume the feeling of the wish being fulfilled. That's different. He wasn't asking you to believe blindly. He was telling you to step into the identity of the version of you who already has it. To assume like a script, like a role in a play, like it's already happened. Not because it's true right now, but because that's how reality gets created, from assumption forward. Think about this. Have you ever had something unexpected show up in your life? Money, a message, a surprise outcome, all while you were doubting it? That's proof. Proof that belief isn't required, because the signal you send isn't emotional, it's vibrational. And vibration isn't about excitement, it's about certainty. And certainty can be calm, silent, unshaken. Neville said, it is not what you want that you attract. You attract what you are conscious of being. So the moment you stop waiting to believe and just start being, something unlocks. You shift. And when you shift, everything else must follow. Let's do something together right now. Don't try to feel good. Don't try to visualize. Just close your eyes for a moment and say internally, it's already done. Not to convince yourself, but to accept it. As calmly as you'd say, I brushed my teeth this morning. No need to believe. Just assume. That one shift from trying to believe to calmly commanding can rewire your entire manifestation process. We're going to go even deeper into identity, into assumption, into subconscious shortcuts, into bypassing belief altogether. Because your life doesn't change when you believe harder. It changes the moment you accept that belief was never needed. You only needed to say, this is who I am now. There's a lie so subtle, so invisible, that most people don't even know they're trapped inside it. It sounds spiritual. It feels like growth. But it's a cage. The lie is this: if I could just believe hard enough, it would manifest. Sounds reasonable, right? But here's the deeper problem with that thought. The more you try to believe something, the more you reinforce the idea that you don't believe it yet. And your subconscious hears everything. Not just your words, but your energy behind the words. You repeat, I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. But the energy behind it whispers, I don't really believe this yet. You journal your dream life every morning. You visualize your soulmate. You write checks to yourself in your notebook. And still, nothing changes. Why? Because trying to believe is the same as saying, this isn't real yet. I need to force it into existence. That energy is filled with effort, strain, proof-seeking. And all of that communicates one thing to the subconscious. We don't have it yet. So now, you're not manifesting your desire. You're manifesting the state of lack around it. That's the loop people stay in for months, even years. Try harder, feel resistance, blame themselves, start over. It feels like progress, but it's a performance. And your inner world isn't looking for performance. It's looking for assumption, calm, subtle, neutral. Imagine this. You're an actor handed a script. The scene says, you just received a $10,000 payment. You don't believe it's true. But for the role, you read the lines. You walk like it, speak like it. You don't believe it into being. You just perform it like it already happened. And something strange happens in that process. You start to embody the role, and eventually, Your subconscious doesn't know the difference anymore. This is how real change begins. Not with emotional effort, but with identity rehearsal from the outside in. Not, I hope this happens. Not, I'm trying to believe, but simply, I'm acting from the end. You don't need to feel empowered every day. You don't need perfect alignment. You only need to speak, walk, and think from the scene that's already complete. And the belief, it will catch up. Because belief is not the fuel. It's the shadow cast by consistent assumption. So if you've been stuck in the loop of trying, step out of it now. Stop trying to prove something to the universe. It's already wired to obey your state. Just decide, assume, speak from the end. And the lie that you need belief to begin will dissolve like fog in the morning sun. The secret thoughts that shape your entire reality, even when you're doing everything else right on the surface. You've probably heard that your thoughts create your reality, but Neville said something far more specific and far more powerful. Your inner speech mirrors your reality. Change your words, and you'll change your world. Most people say positive affirmations out loud, but keep running silent arguments in their heads. They try to affirm, I am chosen, but inside they whisper, they haven't texted back yet. What if I'm not good enough? That inner whisper is what the subconscious responds to. Because inner speech is identity. Think of your mind like a stage. On the front, your affirmations are rehearsing lines. But backstage, your inner dialogue is rewriting the script. That quiet, invisible conversation with yourself. That's where reality forms. Not in the loud moments, not in your journal, but when you're brushing your teeth, when you're walking to your car, when you're waiting for a reply and you tell yourself, it always works out for me, or maybe it's just not meant to be. Both of those are inner commands. One creates power, one creates a pause. So what do we do about it? We don't fight the inner voice. We overwrite it. We create a new loop, subtle, rhythmic, non-emotional. Something like, of course I'm chosen. It's normal now. Reality always follows me. Everything adjusts to fit me. Say them when you're not trying. While walking, driving, showering. No force, no emotion. Just repetition. Because repetition trains identity, and identity commands reality. Your job is not to fix your thoughts. It's to change your inner tone. Not with intensity, but with consistency. And once your inner speech aligns, everything around you follows like an echo. There's one moment where your identity reveals itself instantly. It's not when you're visualizing, not when you're journaling. It's when you look yourself in the mirror. Why? Because the mirror doesn't lie. When you look into your own eyes, you see the story, all of it. The doubt, the effort, the waiting. But the mirror is also where the shift happens fastest. Try this. Stand in front of the mirror. No smile, no posing. Just meet your own eyes silently. Then say one sentence with zero emotion. You already did it. Not you're going to. Not one day. Just, you already did it. Say it like a line in a play. No feeling, no belief. Just delivery. And watch what happens in your body. You'll feel the ego try to reject it. But if you hold that gaze, if you refuse to look away, you'll feel something deeper click into place. The mirror is where command bypasses belief. Because when your reflection hears the new identity, your subconscious takes it seriously. You're not thinking it, you're speaking it, and your body hears it. Use this daily, not with hype, with certainty. One line, one moment. You already did it. That's all it takes to install the new timeline. Here's one of Neville's most subtle and most misused techniques. I remember when, at first glance, it sounds like nostalgia, but it's actually a psychological trick to rewrite memory itself. Here's how it works. When you say, I remember when I was broke, you're declaring that was the past. This is now. Even if your bank account hasn't changed yet, your subconscious doesn't measure time. It hears this already changed. Most people affirm from the future, I will be loved. I will succeed. But will is a future that never arrives. I remember when I was looking for love. Now I forget what loneliness feels like. I remember when success felt far away. Now it's just Tuesday. This technique reframes your identity from inside out. And because it sounds like a memory, your inner mind doesn't resist it. It just nods and installs it. Try it with anything. I remember when I was begging the universe to prove itself. Now I command and reality adjusts. That's the energy of authority, not belief, not effort, just a shift in timeline, from becoming to remembering. Every breakthrough has a funeral, not a sad one, but a necessary one. The self that got you here is not the self that will take you there. And at some point, you have to bury the version of you that kept trying, the one who kept saying, I still have blocks. I'm waiting for alignment. I need to heal more before I'm ready. That version isn't wrong. It's just expired. It played its role. It survived, but it doesn't get to drive anymore. So how do we release that version? Not with guilt, not with shame, with honor, with clarity. Close your eyes. See the old you standing across from you. Thank them, smile, then let them walk away. No ceremony, no closure, just a quiet departure. Because the new you doesn't need convincing, doesn't wait for belief. They just say, I'm here now. That version of me is gone. Ever notice that when you stop caring, things finally show up? You let go of the crush, and they call. You forget about the opportunity, and it appears. That's not a coincidence. That's a principle. It's called the law of reversal. The more tightly you grip, the more your energy says, this isn't mine yet. And so the universe mirrors that, not out of punishment, but precision. Wanting pushes it away, assuming lets it arrive. So how do we reverse the grip? You shift the question from, how can I get this? To, how can I let it chase me? Say it now, let it find me. I'm not chasing anymore. That's not laziness, that's energetic precision. Because the most magnetic people aren't desperate, they're certain. They know the version that has it already exists, and they let reality catch up to them. You don't need to fight old beliefs. You don't need to dig into your childhood. There's a shortcut, a bypass door, and it's repetition without resistance. When you use low emotion, high consistency phrases, your subconscious accepts them quickly. Why? Because there's no resistance, no charge, no drama. Try saying this softly as you walk. It's already happening for me. Say it again, brushing your teeth, folding laundry, drifting to sleep. This isn't fake it till you make it. It's install it till you become it. Rhythm bypasses emotion, and emotion is where resistance lives. Say less, repeat more. You don't need to feel it, you just need to embed it, because when the phrase becomes background noise, that's when it becomes your operating system. You've already manifested without belief, you just forgot. That message that came after you gave up, that thing that worked out when you didn't try, that moment that made no logical sense, that was alignment by default. So instead of asking, why isn't it working? Ask, when did it already work? Find the evidence. Your subconscious needs reference points, and you have them. Use them. Anchor into them. You've been powerful longer than you've been conscious. All we're doing now is making that power intentional greater than athletes rehearse. Performers rehearse, speakers rehearse, but most people never rehearse their future self. They visualize, but they don't rehearse. Rehearsal isn't imagining. It's acting from the end. It's not emotion. It's embodiment. You don't have to feel it. You just need to practice it. Pick one scene, one moment in time that proves your desire is real. Not a fantasy, a specific moment. Signing the contract, hugging that person, holding your newborn. Now rehearse it like a scene, in real time, in first person. Do this before bed. That's when your mind enters theta, your most programmable state. And remember, repetition rewires reality. One scene, every night. That's all it takes to become the version who already lived it. There's a huge difference between asking and commanding. And most people in the manifestation space don't even realize they're still begging. Begging with their affirmations, begging with their vision boards, begging with their inner child still hoping to be chosen by life. Even their techniques, visualizations, journaling, scripting, are filled with subtle pleading. Please, universe, let this be the one. Let me be blunt. The universe isn't Santa Claus, it's a mirror. It reflects your dominant assumptions, not your desperate requests. If you walk around believing the desire is out there, the mirror shows you, still out there. If you walk with authority, like it's already yours, the mirror doesn't question you, it aligns. Neville was clear about this. He didn't say, beg the universe to deliver. He said, dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Assume equals command, and command is not emotional, it's identity-based. When you command, you don't explain yourself. You don't justify your past. You don't wait for alignment. You move, you declare, you shift. That's why the question is never, what do I want to manifest? It's, who do I need to become to speak this reality as law? Because until you claim that inner role, your manifestations remain conditional. Conditional on belief, conditional on mood, conditional on validation. But when you stop asking and start embodying, reality can't argue with you anymore. You speak it, and it echoes back. Here's the truth. Reality doesn't care if you feel deserving. It obeys your assumption of power. So when you speak as if it's done, move as if it's yours, claim it without apology. You unlock a realm most people never access, a realm where things bend, because your energy no longer negotiates. In the final part, we remove the veil completely, the illusion that's kept millions stuck in hope, not power. If you felt like something's been blocking you, even all the techniques, all the work, all the belief, that final lock is about to open. What if I told you, you were never blocked? Not really. What if all the delays, all the confusion, all the false starts were just symptoms of a single veil? The veil is belief, or more specifically, the belief that you need belief. You've been told manifestation depends on believing hard enough, feeling it deeply enough, aligning high enough. But that's not power. That's emotional gymnastics, and it's built on a misunderstanding of how the subconscious mind actually works. Your subconscious isn't emotional, it's mechanical. It records what's repeated, it installs what's assumed, and when you drop the veil, when you stop trying to feel worthy, ready, deserving, when you just say, this is who I am now, everything changes. Neville said, be still and know that you are that which you desire to be. Not feel it, not convince yourself. Just know it. That is command. That is authority. That is what creates. So here's the final truth. You don't need to believe anymore. You've already done that for too long. What you need now is to declare without resistance. This is mine. It's already done. I no longer chase it. If you're still here, it means something shifted. So don't leave it floating in your mind. Lock it into your reality. Right now, drop your command in the comments. Not a hope, not a dream, but a declaration. Something like, I no longer wait to believe. I declare, it's already mine. Speak it out loud, and if it scares you a little, that means it's real. Then hit like, share this video with someone else who's still stuck behind the veil, and subscribe if you're ready for the next level of truth, the kind that doesn't beg for belief. No more performing, no more proving, just power, just command. You are the version now. Act like it.